Three news stories for you. Before that, two clarifications. Some viewer said, Sajid, you mentioned the names of the places from where people are in touch with you. You did not mention Aratia. Are no Aratians in touch with you? No, I missed, I think, Aratia. Aratians, I would say, they are in touch too. Secondly, I shared a news story yesterday about UNOCHA's report. United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs in Ethiopia released a report, I think 48 hours ago, about situation on the ground in Tigray. In that report, there was mention of civilian casualties in drone strikes on Tigray. A viewer said that the report has been taken down and UNOCHA says it will publish a new report. Well, the report has not been taken down. Instead, a tweet has been taken down by UNOCHA Twitter account. The tweet was not related to this report. The tweet was shared in response to some comments by an analyst. That tweet was not linked to UNOCHA's latest report. The report is still there on UNOCHA's website. Now, three news stories. Firstly, Somalia, where better sense seems to be prevailing. A mediator is busy. He is engaging both Farmajo and PM Roble, who is engaging the two parties in Somalia. Second, viewers, if there were any doubts about TPLF being part or otherwise of upcoming national dialogue, Ridwan Hussein, Ethiopian minister, has made it clear now. He was interviewed by Horn Review a few hours ago. He was asked a question about TPLF's participation or otherwise in upcoming national dialogue. What did he say? And thirdly, viewers, we have some updates for you from Adi Arkay front, where Tigray-backed news sources are making claims that one or two top commanders of Fano militia and Ethiopian National Defense Force have been killed on Adi Arkay front. Firstly, we have Somalia. PM Roble and President Farmajo was on collision course. Both had released very strong statements. Farmajo said that he had suspended Roble, and Roble said that Farmajo was no more president of Somalia. Then we saw statements from the US, the UK, Sweden, and some other countries. They backed PM Roble. Now we have a good news that a person is mediating. He is in touch with both the parties. He is in Mogadishu. His name is Ahmed Kariye. He is president of Gulmudug region, Gulmudug state of Somalia. He is known for mediation in some previous disputes. He mediated too. He has arrived in Mogadishu. Reportedly, he is in touch with all the stakeholders, PM Roble, President Farmajo, opposition candidates, civil society. So he is trying to mediate the conflict. The conflict is still there. We have not seen any resolution so far, but at least now mediation efforts are underway. US officials, US Assistant Secretary of State for Africa Bureau is also talking to the parties to this political conflict. So it seems that situation is coming under control, because there were fears that this political dispute could turn into armed confrontation. But then we saw statements from head of Somali intelligence agency, then a statement from Somali army head, and both said that agencies, forces would not be part of this political dispute. So things seem to be moving in the right direction in Somalia, and we could see a resolution in coming days. Secondly, viewers, from Somalia, let's move to Ethiopia. Ridwan Hussein, Ethiopian state minister, was interviewed by Horn Review, a news outlet, a few hours ago. He was specifically asked about national dialogue, about TPLF. Will TPLF be part of the dialogue or not? If you remember, a few days ago, he was interviewed by Anadolu agency when he was in Turkey. PM Abiy visited Turkey, Ridwan also accompanied him, and there he was interviewed by Anadolu agency. And there he was asked a question about national dialogue, about TPLF being part of dialogue or not. And he had said that if TPLF surrendered, if it disarmed, then there could be possibility of TPLF joining the talk. So that is why there were some speculations. Now he has made it clear. In the interview with Horn Review, he made it clear that TPLF would not be part of national dialogue. He says that a terrorist body cannot set any preconditions. Ethiopian government is elected government, and no terrorist body can set any terms for dialogue. He says that people of Ethiopia and politicians of Ethiopia, they'll be part of this dialogue. Interestingly, he said that dialogue could take months, even years. Now, my question, viewers, is that international community was calling for national dialogue, for inclusive political dialogue. We have seen statements from the US, the UN, the EU, African Union as well. All were calling for national dialogue. When they were calling for national dialogue, it means they were calling for talks between TPLF and Ethiopian government. That is what they meant when they were proposing national dialogue. Now, when TPLF is being kept out of this dialogue, will international community, will African Union, will African neighboring countries, will they back this national dialogue? And could there be indirect talk with TPLF as well? Not on this forum, but through Obasanjo or through other mediators. So is Ethiopian government devising a dual strategy that it wants to talk to TPLF through mediators, through Obasanjo, but it does not want TPLF to be part of national dialogue? Or is it rejecting talks altogether with TPLF? That remains to be seen. We'll update you in coming days. Lastly, viewers, Adi Arkay front is the busiest front now, where Tigray forces, I told you yesterday, launched a major counter-offensive. We have confirmed that the other party, Amhara sources, Amhara news sources, they are also confirming that Tigray forces have sent large reinforcements on this front. We have seen two claims by Tigray-backed news sources on this front within the past 24 hours. They are claiming that two top commanders of Fano militia and Ethiopian National Defense Force have been killed on this front. Gezacho Yalne is the name of the colonel of ENDF, and a Fano commander is also being named by Tigray-backed news sources. They have been killed here. We don't have any confirmation. Obviously, it's difficult to confirm this sort of information. Just claims. We're waiting for some claims or some statement from Ethiopian government or Amhara regional government. What do they say about the killing of two top commanders, Fano and ENDF, on Adi Arkay front? What we can confirm, viewers, is that Adi Arkay is the busiest front now. Tigray Defense Force is trying to move not only towards Adi Arkay but to the south of Adi Arkay as well. We can say that Chewber and Adi Arkay both are now battle fronts. It's not that ENDF and Amhara forces are in full control of Adi Arkay and TDF is far away from Adi Arkay. No, the entire area, Adi Arkay, Chewber, it has become a battlefront where heavy clashes are being reported. That is why overall situation is fluid. TDF does not want to withdraw from this place. It withdrew from Adi Arkay 2 days ago. Then we saw a movement by Amhara forces ENDF towards Tigray-Amhara border. We heard of some airstrikes too on Tigray-Amhara border. Then a counter-offensive came. Now it's a full-scale offensive which is being seen. Reportedly, thousands of soldiers have been sent by Tigray Defense Force on Adi Arkay front. Because they know if they lose May Samre, Adi Arkay, obviously they'll come under pressure. And Amhara forces, ENDF, Eritreans will try to push them to the east of Tekeze. That is why they have launched a counter-offensive on Adi Arkay. And they're trying to penetrate Volkayt so far. We don't have any confirmation that TDF has made any gains in Volkayt. We can only confirm that Chewber and Adi Arkay both have become battlefronts now where heavy fighting is going on. Who will be able to gain control of these places, it remains to be seen. Tigray forces are trying to take control of areas on Tigray-Amhara border in order to continue their push into western Tigray, into Volkayt. Thank you for watching.